Hey everyone, I'm Brad Talton, the creator of NOIR and founder of Level 99 Games, and I'd like to tell you about some updates that we have made to the basic NOIR game, which makes it more accessible and strategic for experienced gamers. So let's take a look inside and see what's new.
To begin the game, choose one player to be the killer and another player to be the inspector. The killer player draws one card as his secret identity and keeps it secretly to himself. This card represents his identity on the board. So in this example, our killer has Linus as his character, which means he's standing here, and he has a reach to reach all 5 of these adjacent characters. Now, on the first turn of the game, our killer, who I'll leave face up here, but you should keep face down, must choose to kill someone. So Linus will choose and point and say, I kill Yvonne. And then she will be flipped down to her deceased side. On the inspector's first turn of the game, the inspector draws the top 4 cards of the deck and takes a look at them. One will be his secret identity. The rest will go into his hand as evidence. Keeping all these cards secret, he selects one to be his secret identity and tucks it down underneath his character card. The remaining 3 stay in his hand as evidence, people he knows are innocent, but the killer does not know. This takes his entire first turn. Proceeding from here, each player takes turns back and forth, choosing one of the 3 actions to take. The killer can perform another kill, just like he did before. He's also able to perform what's called a shift. To do a shift, he chooses any row or any column of the board and moves it, either up or down, to the left or to the right. So in this case, I will shift this way. And of course, you don't have to be in the row. Your opponent doesn't have to be in the row. You can shift any row or any column regardless. The inspector can also shift in this much the same way. So as inspector, I could shift this row. The killer's second kind of action, to kill, is the same as before. He chooses someone adjacent to his secret identity, which may be different now that things have moved around, and flips them down. Now that the inspector's secret identity is somewhere on the board, if the killer manages to kill the inspector, he wins the game. The inspector, on his turn, can arrest, and arresting works much the same as the killer. The inspector chooses any of the people around his secret identity, points to them, and says, I think you are Ernest, in this case. The killer will either say yes if he is, or no if he isn't. In the case of a yes answer, the inspector has captured the killer and has won the game. In the case of a no answer, then the killer now knows a little bit more about the inspector's identity. The killer's last kind of action is called a disguise. To disguise, he takes the top card of the evidence deck, looks at it, and checks to see if this person is still alive on the board. Afterwards, if the person is still alive, he keeps this identity secretly and throws away his old one, exonerating that person. An exonerated suspect puts their innocent card over their suspect card on the board, marking them as innocent. The inspector can take an exonerate action. To do this, he draws a card from the evidence deck, takes a look at his hand of evidence, and chooses one person to discard down onto the board. At this point, this person is now marked as innocent, just like the past identity of the killer. When the inspector exonerates somebody, the killer must answer yes or no whether he's adjacent to the exonerated target. In this case, our killer is Irma, and she would answer yes, I am adjacent to Udstad, giving the inspector some extra information. Now, there's one other final detail. If the killer kills someone who is already innocent, already marked as innocent, he discards this, throws it away, and turns them down. Then he gets to do the same for the inspector. The inspector must answer yes or no if he's in the area. In this way, the killer can search a large area at once by targeting exonerated suspects. Finally, if the inspector decides to exonerate a person who's already deceased, their innocent card just leaves the board. Also, in the case of a longer game, it may happen that an entire row or column of suspects gets eliminated. Let's say like this. If an entire column or row are eliminated any time, they slide off the board, and the board collapses down, making a smaller space. In addition to capturing the killer or killing the inspector, if the killer can eliminate 16 total people across the board, meaning there are only 9 living suspects left, then the killer immediately wins.
Thanks for taking the time to watch this short video of Noir. I hope you enjoy the game and the updates. Happy gaming!